I'm Dennis Moreland with Dennis Moreland Tack, and we're here today with Chris and Sarah Dawson, and we're going to talk about spurs and why we use them and how we use them and what spur fits what level of rider better. Chris, Sarah?
What we use the spurs for is to get more refinement out of our horses, because we can get real specific with where we place our spurs as to what body part we're wanting to move where. And so really the speed is coming from our bodies and how fast we ride our horses, and we add the spur for more refinement as we advance those horses along in their training.
I like everybody to start with a short shank kind of a spur, kind of like this right here, until they get to just a lot of self-awareness about what they're doing with their feet. That way they're not accidentally spurring that horse and they don't mean to. So also shorter-legged folks, they're going to need a little shorter shank as well, so the spurs aren't so close to that horse's midsection. A longer-legged fella is going to get his feet farther away from that horse, so it might be beneficial for them to ride in something a little longer so they don't have to move their feet so far to make contact with their horse.
Let's talk about rowels. What is the difference in rowels and what people should look for when they go to buy a pair of spurs?
So there's tons of different rowels that a person will see when they go spur shopping, and I don't think one of them is better than the other. It's kind of what your goal is. Like, we'll start with a real generic rowel like this one here or this one here. Both of them, I mean, just they're pretty generic. And as far as like what kind of shank you have, like Chris was saying in the earlier session, it's depending on your length of leg and also kind of how advanced you are in your riding and how much control you have over your legs. But as far as spurs go, like Chris and I, we'll have the same pair of spurs on all day long. You know, a little hotter horse, we might put something a little bit duller, like a cloverleaf spur on one of those. But other than that, we really like these type of rowels right here that are just, they're simple, but we can ride every single horse prominently in them.
Chris is going to show us how he communicates with the horse with his feet. Chris, thank you for having us.
You bet, Dennis. Well, something that I like to really pay attention to is I want to go in with my feet real slow. I want to start with my boot top, add my calf pressure, and then add my spur. And then as that horse moves away, I want to remove the spur pressure, but maintain my calf pressure, so that horse doesn't just fall back away from that release of that spur. And that will teach him to move away from this leg without ever even having to put your spur on him.
If the horse is real sensitive and you put your boot, your calf into him and he moves away, do you go to the spur or not?
Certainly not necessarily. If he moves away from...
if he's responding.
Well, as the old saying goes, as much as necessary and as little as possible.
Thank you, Chris. Hope this has been helpful. We appreciate your input.
For more tips and to take a look at some of the country's finest handmade tack, log on to dmtack.com.